Welcome, Growth Tribe, fellow entrepreneurs, Facebook business page managers, and anyone looking to understand how to use effective social media management for Facebook. My name is Benjamin Kepner of Global Social Media Marketing, and today I'm going to be talking about Facebook business page social media management services. Now, when I talk about that, what I'm referring to is all of the things that you have to do as a social media manager for your Facebook page. This is something that's recently come up as our team is kind of growing, and I'm trying to teach them how to manage our page. Some of the things that I would have them try to build into their weekly routine as a social media manager, right? Social media management, it doesn't have to be a very time intensive thing. I've seen some stats that some people say they can manage all the things on a Facebook page in about an hour a day, maybe even less. But it's really about being consistent, checking in, and doing kind of a list of things that you need to do, and then maybe figuring out how long it takes you to do that list. So I'm going to show you some examples for our page on Global Social Media Marketing today. And I'm going to start with, kind of where you need to start first is always going to be with content, right? As a social media manager, it will be important for you to create content. So I've got here for our team in October, let's try to create 4 to 7 posts per week. Unfortunately for us, we've got multiple people that can help us with that. So it'll be really collaborative. So that kind of leads me into, what's next, like content strategy. What's the type of content that you would want to create and manage. So let's just quickly, let's take a flip back to global. Let's take a gander at what's going on with our page for content. And we can look at some examples and I can kind of point some things out. So at the top of our page, we've got our free Facebook lead generation case study for insurance agents. That's our value offer for Q4, right? We're making a big push to kind of focus on that buyer persona, target insurance agents. We're giving them a value offer of a case study of how we're able to generate leads for them. We've got a nice copy there, our benefits, a good looking picture. And you can see that it's been pinned to our page and, we've boosted it. And so we're getting good traction there. So that looks like a great post overall. We've got this post recently that just went up, right, where we're actually speaking to that audience again, and we're asking them to reach out to us, right? We've got a nice picture here again, very bright image. We've tried out some different nature posts. So also remembering that, like, not, you don't always have to have like a picture and be so serious with business. It could be something like this. Like, this is very creative from the perspective of that, we're using a nice image, but then tying it back to our audience there. Maybe another way that I could add value there is I could have a link to our website, right? Or, I could maybe put a person's name if we had someone we wanted to show their face. And maybe, if I had been able to include a picture of somebody's actual face in this picture, that would be something else I would say is like, if we look at both of these, right, we're not seeing any face. Facebook face, it makes sense. Facebook wants to give more engagement. So let's kind of look and see what else we've got going on over here. We'll just do 3. We won't bore you with all of our posts. This is the Future of Insight Summit. We're going to be sponsoring that at the Terry College of Business. Go dogs, sick 'em. Woof, woof, woof. And, what's great about that is that, this is something showing our authority, right? This is something like, okay, we're going to be with some of the best, market research people possible. And, we've got this kind of like dynamic post where it's a carousel. We can kind of look at different images. Feedback on this is like, again, we don't see any faces, right? So I think what's important to think about with your content, something that I'm seeing in 2019 is get back to people. That's why social media was created, was to connect with your community and your friends. And if you're posting on your Facebook page some images with no pictures of actual people, then maybe you're not reaching or really getting that engagement. Here's an example of my recent trip with our client Thrive Union in California. Now, this is a good example of a picture, right? Like, this has got a lot of different people. Maybe we had tagged some people. This is more authentic. This is general. People are going to see that in their feed and, know that there's an actual culture or community behind us. So, those are just some examples of some different things, but I want to kind of go back now to that content strategy now that you saw some of the things that we're doing at Global. So awareness wise, like, Awareness is knowing global. Who is global social media marketing? What are our services? What are the problems that people are having, right? We've used some things about, how insurance agents need to walk to the light. Maybe they're in the dark about understanding how they can get more leads with social media. Maybe that's a new thing for them right now, and they don't really know how to do that. Why do they need to know that they can trust global social media marketing? Create more awareness around your content posts, and that awareness of, what is my audience going through and their problems, and how can I help them solve that? Talk about what you need to solve. Talk about, what's going to happen if you don't solve that, and create a fan base and grow that around that awareness. So that would be my first thing for you on these three pillars. And definitely a shout out to Kat Howell. I know this is coming from one of your modules in your training course. I'm learning a lot of great things from your academy. So just want to give her a brief shout out. And if you haven't heard about Kat Howell's Academy, definitely look into it. As far as the next pillar of content that you want to have for a page as a social media manager is you want people to like global social media marketing, right? We don't want to just have everyone know us and not like us, right? People want to work with us because they actually like working with us. So things that we could do there, we could show some behind the scene things, right? So I think that, with global, we've done some posts about we showed the Kat Howell Academy announcement, right? But we also did a post of for UGA, right? We've got a bunch of UGA students. I'm a former alumni, so we're always kind of trying to promote the football games now and again. And an example of that, right? Or right here, we're showing where the students attend. Again, right, I would love to have seen maybe a picture of a student. Great, maybe I would have had one of our team members take a picture of themselves in front of the building instead of just a building. Another example would be any of the football games. I know we've posted about that at some point here where we're showing the stadium. We're not actually showing people inside of the stadium or the games. That could show it behind the scenes, hey, this is an awesome waterfall picture. Maybe this was coming from one of our social media marketing managers that went on a hike. How great would it have been if he had actually taken a picture of himself and said, hey, look at what our team is doing this weekend. We're making sure that we get outside, and spending time in nature to find balance. That is really authentic. People can understand that. Memes are great, humor, right? I mean, the whole White Claw phenomenon. If you've watched any of my other training videos, you've probably heard me mention that phenomenon. So use those. Those are available. Humanize, the side of your business, with our UGA students, maybe they could show their grind of how they're having to study, or they've got to go, they go out for the night of them hitting the town or something, just, that's appropriate, but also that's fun. Maybe with the Saturday football games, like I mentioned, it's them in their Georgia gear, and it's just a picture of them with their friends at the tailgate. That would be awesome. And then kind of sharing our clients' work too, right? We've got some different clients that we work with, and kind of mentioning them. So then the next thing I would say is authority, right? The next layer of content when you're managing your page is you want to show that you're a true expert at what your service or product is that you're selling. So for us, we're selling social media marketing mainly. I mean, we are a marketing and education technology company, but mainly we're selling social media marketing. So we would want to maybe talk about, our training videos, right? We've got a YouTube channel. We could post those to our Facebook, show, how to do tips and tricks, how to manage your social media page, how to get Facebook lead ads, those types of things. We have to show people that our authority, our expertise is how they're going to trust us. We could use, blog posts, videos, things like that. For us, right, we've got that Academy news going on right now. We've got the UGA MMR Future of Insights thing. We've had awards where I was at Intercon earlier this year, case studies, right? We could literally just post the landing page of a case study, keep mentioning, hey, this is our authority. We know how to get leads for people on Facebook. This is the case study that did it. Testimonials. That's one thing that we definitely have some room for improvement. So if you were getting some testimonials, right, and I know this is something that I'll be looking for our team to support me with and getting in the next upcoming month, is there's an option on reviews here, right, where I can go to the left and you can see that we've recently got one. This team is killing it, driven, results oriented, and hungry to succeed. Love it. Shout out to Marta for that. I really appreciate that recommendation. She's in the academy. And so, having that, right, having that layer of authority, right? It's no longer the brand on Facebook promoting it. Literally, the people that are working with us are telling our story now. That adds a lot of credibility as a business, hearing it from somebody else. You know, our processes, right? Maybe we know the exact process for what I just explained. Here's a content strategy. What if I literally just copied this, or maybe I did a post every week that's a post on, hey, content pillar 2 of how to have an effective content strategy is affinity. And I go in and I give it, boom, that's a social media post right there. Taking your processes of your business or your product or service, those are social media posts. You don't realize when you're emailing your customers or your teammates, all of the content that you're really creating, some of that is process related, and you could use that. And you'll probably reach the DIY audience, like do it yourself, like, all right, now I know how to do this. But what most people will also figure out is eventually, like, if you can show your processes continually, they'll say, wow, they're really truly the authorities of this. And I'd rather just pay them to do it for me instead of trying to figure it all out myself, because they're the authority. So, those are some different approaches with the content. So just kind of, looking some examples. For us too, we want to make sure that we're replying to the messages. So, there's an inbox up here. As you can see, for us, we're a little behind. So, one of the goals that I have for my team is to get all of these done, right? I've got, some messages that are unleft. You can actually scroll by Facebook and Instagram, right? So here's all of the ones through Facebook that need to be replied to are marked done. So, like, for example, if you've got, your loving mother is commenting on your Facebook page, I'm sure everyone has that happen, right? It's funny, is like, just reply back and say, thanks for the comment, and we are super excited to go home to a place we love at Terry College of Business with our amazing team. Right? So now, like, I think that's important as a brand. Don't leave these comments, undone. Then once it's done, market is done, right? That as soon as you've replied, market is done. Now Facebook's going to take that and they're going to say, okay, they replied. I've reduced that from 11 to 10. So go out and clear these, right? If you've got your Instagram connected, you've also got that. Here's a cool thing: is you can literally reply these from your Facebook, right? So I could go in here. We're creating a new business, new clothes, blah, blah, blah. I could reply and say, hey, that's awesome. We will look into this. And now I've replied, and then I'm crossing that off, and see, I was actually able, to just kind of do that on my computer, to reply through the Instagram and the Facebook and just get these done, right? I want to get these all marked off, because if I go back to our page and I look at it, one factor that will happen with the search results are also credibility, is looking at our message, right? Right now, Global's got a 90 response time. And an 8-day response time, right? That's a little late. We wouldn't want to take 8 days. That's, think about if we had a customer that didn't hear from us for 8 days, they probably wouldn't be very happy. So, not to pressure anyone in any of this, but, general rule of thumb, 24 to 48 hours. If you stay on top of your messages too, right, you don't have a whole inbox. It's no different than if you've got emails. The longer you leave them in there, the more you're going to play catch up. And then Facebook is kind of, it's going to give you this nice little green badge if you can be more responsive. So you definitely want to do that as a social media manager. Take an hour, 2 hours every week to just make sure that you're doing your messages and you're staying on top of that. The next thing is like boosting post, right? This is something that recently I've changed, and our strategy is like, as soon as I get a post up, right, definitely leave it organic. This one's been up since 2:00, but I want to make sure that it reaches people, right? We've got 17,600 fans, yet we've only gotten 2 likes. And mainly that's because of the organic traffic that we have on Facebook, right? We're only going to reach maybe 3%. So go in there as a social media manager, say, I want to get some more, engagement or shares. Choose your audience, right? We could choose an audience that we have. We're just going to do people that like our page, for now, worldwide, and then maybe do a total budget of something like $5, guys. I mean, nothing crazy. Run it for like, 5 days, 6 days, something like that. Maybe we'll do like $3, even less. Um, no, we'll do five, and then we'll do 4 days, something like that. See how it goes. Like, look at how many more people that we're going to reach by spending $1 a day. I mean, you tell me, like, is $1 worth reaching 100 people? I think so. I mean, that's pretty powerful. So for us too, here's another approach is like, the best bang for your buck. You can watch one of our other training videos on boosted posts is either going to be to do your current page, or you could come in here and create a new audience and then just do worldwide. That will give you, like, really good engagement. So let's just say it's worldwide, and I don't have any targeting. Maybe I leave that and save it. That's going to give me really good engagement. And then what that also is going to do is it's going to help me build my fan base, right? So we're going to use that approach with global in October. We're going to kind of do the worldwide. Maybe we'll flip back now and again to who likes your page. $5, 4 days, then we're going to run it, and that's what it's going to be. So that's going to give us a lot of greater reach. That's going to build credibility for our page, right? If we're a Facebook page and we're getting 2 likes a post, people are probably kind of questioning us. They're probably saying, is this really engaging content? Did they build a spammy, bot audience? The quick solution is put $3 to $5, guys. I mean, I think I spent like $3 on this post, and it reached like 110 people or something like that. So that's kind of a hack that you should be doing, right, to make sure that you're getting that engagement as a social media manager. From there, you get these Facebook invites. So when you do a boosted post like that, right, you'll get something in your business manager account where you'll get a notification that says, like, so and so has liked your page. Like, invite them to like your page, right? And it'll be in your notifications, or if you view on the post. So one way to look at it is to see the notifications, right? You can kind of see the publishing, recommending. There should be something in here that says, like, this is one of the audiences, right? That we don't currently have them, but it was saying something like, these people have liked your page, invite them to like it. So you kind of just click into your ads that are running, or your boosted posts, and all these are invited. Another way that you could just like quickly flip back, as another approach, is like, when you boost that post, you can just literally go to the page, because we haven't boosted any posts. We may have invited the majority of ours, but there will be an option in there where it'll be like that invite. So you just click on the boosted post, not on the view results, but you click on the icon of the little engagement there, and make sure that all these people have liked your page. You'll just click invite. One final way is just looking in the ads manager for that. If you need a third layer, just to make sure that you're making sure that you're inviting people that have engaged with your ads, just go into your ads account, and then you can go see all of your boosted posts, right? So you can see that one of those is boosted right now, where we could click into it. Maybe there's one that we have a little bit older, like this free lead generation. Let's see if we can click into that. If you just click into it and go to the ad, and we click on edit, you'll see the engagement that it got, right? So there's that 650. If I wanted to kind of just like see those ones for the ins, I could do it on Facebook and Instagram. Here's another quick hack for you guys. So you want to invite all those people that are liking those boosted posts, right? If they're not your current fans, you can also do it for Instagram. So if you go through that process, which I just showed you, now what you're realizing is, oh, our Facebook's connected to our Instagram. There's 96 people that I've forgotten about on Instagram. This is great, right? Because now if I was logged into my global Instagram, now those Facebook ads, I'm building our fan base through hundreds on Facebook, and maybe even double that on Instagram, because the engagement's higher there. So don't forget about that. If you're connected to Instagram, if you're a social media manager, you definitely want to have your Facebook and Instagram connected. Booking appointments are great. There's some examples of that. Somebody in the academy I saw was recently doing that. So shout out to Connected Culture, right? They've just got an option. As a manager, maybe your time is very valuable. You're in class, you're with your friends, whatever. You can put some specific times there. Have people book appointments directly through Facebook. Asking clients, team members to leave reviews. We talked about that. Another thing that you want to do as a social media manager when you're checking on your page every week is just kind of pay attention to the analytics, right? Just real quickly go into the page, insights, and see how it's doing week over week. I want to just kind of pay attention to what the growth is. You can see with global, we're kind of exploding right now. We're taking off. The academy. I'm really kind of making a big push on things in October. But I think don't go into it thinking, all right, we got to go 415% every week. If you're doing 33%, that's great. I mean, I've seen some people look at these. I mean, we've got zeros here, and overall, what I'm saying is you want these to be in the green. They're not always going to be green, but pay attention to that. Another thing that you should be trying to pay attention to is looking at the pages to watch, right? So what we've done is we've got HubSpot's our favorite marketing company, and we think of them as like the experts. And then we've got Kat Howell now. We're in her academy. Scorpion is a competitor that we heard out of in California. There's us. And then we've got Life Marketing out in Atlanta. And then we've got Social SEO, which is another social media company, SEO company. So we want to kind of just see what they're doing, right? Or how fast are they growing their fans? How many posts are they putting out? Wow, Life's putting out 16 posts a week. They're really hitting the content game. Yet global, we're investing more in that fan base growth. We can see what the engagements are. And then the really cool thing is I can click on it and see what the week's top post is for that person we're paying attention to. So this was HubSpot's best performing post. Creative idea, Venn diagram, there's an emoji, kind of out of the box. I don't know. What was Kat's post this week? She's got her updated of her profile picture, so that's kind of a good way to just kind of pay attention to what's going on. Last thing I would just say is you will always want to, as a social media manager, pay attention to your ads, right? So that's just going into your ads quickly, 5 minutes, a day or something less, just pay attention. We've got our likes campaigns. I know that we're converting at 12 cents and 95 cents. Can I optimize these, right? Can I change the audiences? Can I look at the copy? Am I boosting those posts? And here's a good approach on that too, as we're kind of closing this video out, is just have your boosted posts, have it like a waterfall approach where like every post you're trying to get more engagement, right? Where like maybe you've got one that gets 50 and you cut it off at $3. And then the next one, it goes to 70 and you cut it off. So you can kind of see we're starting that approach, right? We did 72. We spent 56 cents, which is nothing. And we got 72 likes for 56 cents. We went to the next one. We did one of our videos and we promoted that, right? And it's higher, and maybe we spent a little bit more money there. We spent $1.38 there, right? So maybe take that waterfall approach as a social media manager, build that engagement, build that credibility, use the different content strategies, apply to your messages, engage with other people and brands. I think I've covered a lot of things here. Final thing in your content creation, there are some resources and tools that you can use. I want to make sure that everyone on our team is very well aware of this. You should only be using image stock library photos that we have access to. Do not rip things off the internet. That's copyright infringement. You can use some of these websites: Unsplash, Pexel, Canva, Pixabay. We use deposit photos for global social media marketing. We pay something very cheap for that. Shutterstock's out there, and I know Kyle, our YouTube videographer, has recently sent me over some cool video stock libraries. I haven't used any of these yet, but I know that we're going to be probably investing in one of those. So guys, I know that's a lot, but if you can do these things, you're really priming your Facebook page for success. And social media management doesn't need to be a crazy thing. It could be less than 10 hours a week. And if you've got a team, even better. So I hope this has been helpful on how to correctly manage your Facebook business page. And I'll see you on the next training video. Take care, guys. Talk to you later.